Hi, Professor Pope. I created a screencast so that I can walk you through the steps. So here's the course that I created for my students, writing discourse, for the literary analysis assignment. And I just wanted to walk you through the assignments that were here instead of sending screenshots so that you understood where everything was. So here is the actual assignment that I created for the students, a literary analysis assignment where students compare the theme of the role of women in society and women as predatory in both the Scarlet Letter and the Odyssey. These are texts that are frequently read in 11th grade. So there is their assignment. Next, another requirement for the assignment was to come up with a graphic organizer. So here's my way of coming up with a graphic organizer for the students. Here's my lesson for them. Here's a learning target for them. They're due now. I give them 3 options so that I'm able to allow them to pick just one option and giving them a chance to access the lesson at all times. So that's my form of differentiating. Then I have the mini lesson for the students, which will be about theme. And I start off with a simpler version of theme in a movie that they know, The Lion King. And from then and there, they're able to come up with themes on their own in both the Odyssey and the Scarlet Letter. So here's the task 1. Using your knowledge of themes in our mini lesson, create a list of similar themes in both the Odyssey and the Scarlet Letter. So that's where we really start off with this compare and contrast, is by having them just think about similar themes. Then I go ahead and created the graphic organizer for the students, which is right here, where they're looking at the role of women in the Odyssey, the role of women in the Scarlet Letter, their rationale, which is how do you know, and how specific women in the Odyssey illustrate the theme as women as predatory, and how Hester Prynne illustrates this theme. And then their exit slip would be to create a thesis statement that illustrates how both of the texts reveal the theme. And this is really going to help them with their essay. So the exit slip is essentially helping them with their essay prompt. Day 2 is deconstructing the prompt. So again, here is the 3 options for do now, essential to the learning target, essential to the task. Everything that I created is to ultimately feed the literary analysis task. Okay, so I introduce students to the task. And the first step that I had them do, especially for ELL students, is to deconstruct the prompt. I know for normally younger grades, we would deconstruct it for them, but I allow the students to deconstruct it themselves. So based on their understanding, I asked them, well, what is the topic about? What do you have to do in order to answer some of the questions or to create a literary analysis essay? So by answering these questions and by creating their own questions, they're really giving an opportunity to unpack the prompt. And so you think about some of the skills necessary and some of the questions that they need to answer necessary in order to successfully answer the prompt. And then here we go back again with having them think about the role of women in society in each text and the theme of women as predatory in each text. Now over here it says, why is the topic of importance or interest today? This is really helpful when it comes to the introduction and conclusion, because a lot of my students struggle with both the introduction and conclusion. Then as we proceed, I have students create their own outline template. Tomorrow I will be giving them an outline template. However, I'd like to see how they create their own outline template and what components they feel like they should include in their essay. And then finally, for an exit slip, it's beginning, well, independent assignment is to begin their introduction. And I really scaffolded this when I said sentence 1, sentence 2, this is what you would do, sentence 3, sentence 4, sentence 5. This is great for students that are struggling. This is great for students that have difficulties organizing their writing. And then finally, the exit slip is the metacognitive thinking. So how has completing this assignment helped the student? And then here for the student is the actual essay outline. So here again I provide the prompt, A, because students are always losing their assignments, and B, because the prompt is easily accessible for them. So again, they're doing some form of deconstruction so that they understand exactly what they are writing for this essay. So deconstruct the prompt, paraphrase the assignment, simplify the task so that they are doing it and they are able to do it when they take standardized exams. And then I really walk them, this is my essay outline for the students, where I really walk them through what is expected in each paragraph. So here is the same introduction paragraph on yesterday's outline, and I put over here, this should look familiar because you've already completed it. So this is great as a reiteration for students so that they can see exactly what they're doing and it can look familiar. Then here we have the body paragraphs where I help them create the topic sentence. I help them create evidence. And a lot of students struggle with analysis. This is across the board. So here are probing questions to help students expand on their analysis, because normally I get one sentence for analysis, which drives me crazy. So how does the evidence support your claim? The purpose of the evidence, the significance, how does the author illustrate his message? And then here are some words that helps the students. So some transition words, this reveals, this demonstrates, so that students know how to transition into their analysis. And the same thing with body paragraph 2. Same thing with body paragraph 3, since this is a 5-paragraph essay. And finally, their conclusion. So this essay outline really walks the students through the entire assignment. So ultimately, when they write the essay, they only have to essentially rewrite the essay outline. So I wanted to create a quick screencast so I didn't have to screenshot all the assignments. And here is the rubric, and that goes again with the introduction, the body paragraph, that students acknowledge that they're using compare and contrast language, they're addressing themes, they're using evidence, they're analyzing correctly, and they're taking the time to write in Times New Roman, size 12, and they're appropriate with their mechanics. And if students want to submit their assignment, they can go ahead. As you can see, it says not done, done. That's the easiest way for them to turn in their assignment to me.